Don't crunch your toe. Relax, relax. I'm not hurting you. Okay.
I say that I want people who are innovative, dynamic, curious about people. Experience not necessary. A desire to learn. I specifically shy away from people who've been working in the system for a long, long time because I think that they've been programmed to say no or we can't get anywhere with these kids. I'm very curious about people's situations, and I also know that every parent wants to be a good parent. And so changing the culture has been a huge deal for me, so that we don't have a knee-jerk reaction to every parent who comes in or every kid.
Well, I was born in Congo, but my parents are from Mali. But around 1999, there was a war going on. And so he didn't want his family there. So we came here, we came to the United States in 1999. And I met my birth mother here for the first time. So I had a lot of animosity and I was upset. And I didn't know how to feel about meeting this woman that didn't take care of me. We had conflicts, and most of them had to do with, once we came here, my parents couldn't accept that life was different here. And so we were growing up and living lives like American children did. I just wanted, I was just doing what everyone else around me was doing. I didn't know, anything different.
As a youth walking into our office the first time or any time, some of the fears that they have are they're scared to fail. They have so much going on in their own personal lives with their family. They may be the first one of their family to graduate from high school, to even go to college. So some of them fear that that's not something that they can attain.
I thought I was grown, and I wasn't going back. And so I ended up in a system. My mother took out a PINS case against me, and I ended up in foster care. So I entered foster care at 12. A year later, I was released home to my parents, but the living situation really didn't change. So 3 to 4 days later, I ran away.
When I first found out that I was pregnant, I was definitely scared. I think that was my first reaction, just shocked and scared. And the first thing that started to run through my head was, how am I even gonna approach the subject with my mother? Like, I didn't even know where to begin. Like, the words "Mom, I'm pregnant" I couldn't even form them to pass my lips. Like, he's 11 months. I started off as a young mom. I was 19 when I first had him.
I think if you can catch a teenager at a certain point in their life, you can redirect where they're going.
I was moving from home to home, living with different people. I worked. I had to clothe myself, feed myself, do everything that a 13-year-old shouldn't have to do. I was just really down and out, and I was starting to consider odd types of employments. And I knew that something was wrong because that wasn't me. And I met someone who fought to get me back in foster care. It was difficult at first because I was 17 and they didn't want to take me in, being that I was turning 18 pretty soon. I graduated from high school a semester early somehow, and when I did, I had no idea. I knew nothing about college. And I had a wonderful caseworker at the time who wanted to know about what my goals were and what I wanted to do with my life eventually. And I had told her that I wanted to be a doctor, but I didn't know how to. My grades didn't add up, but I don't know, she seen something in me that I didn't see in myself. And so that same day, she took me downtown to the Manhattan Community College, and I filled out the paperwork and I started there. The agency plays a big part in just because there was a time where I just really felt like there was no one for me. I felt really alone. I mean, it was great just having the support and being able to call people here. I did well my first semester, and I was asked to apply to the Cornell program that the school had. They required a minimum GPA of 3.5 and you to be active. And so I did that over the next 2.5 years. And then I applied to Cornell, and I got in.
It was a hassle, not so much during the pregnancy, but the birthing process, and then after giving birth, realizing that you know your life isn't the same anymore. Now you have a newborn baby that you have to look after.
Hi, boo boo. So how's the job going? Yeah.
Primarily, we try to strengthen their home life, as well as linking back to services. So sometimes when they have a baby, they stop going to school, or they need job training to sustain their lives, or they just need support.
Well, so far, I've spoken with Trisha Johnson. She's the one that took on my case. I'm one of her clients, and I just informed her after giving birth to Tyler that I wanted to go to a cosmetology school. And she asked me how much the school costs, and I told her it's about $12,000. And she looked at me like I was crazy. She was like, $12,000, please, I can find you a school for free. And I looked at her like, please, no you can't. And sure enough, less than 2 weeks later, she dropped by my house and she dropped off this flyer for me, and she's like, call this number. And I gave this lady a call. Her name was Dulce, and she actually did have a free cosmetology program with the Hair Design Institute. I attended school, and in the meantime, Ms. Johnson periodically checked on me. Whatever it was that I needed, she was there to help me during the time that I was in school, so that was like one less added stress on me.
When I was 16, right, it was a dude in high school. He was like 2 years older than me. My kid's mother at the time, she was my girlfriend. She had gave him her number out of like friendship and everything. He would always make fun of me because he thought he got her. Like, and one day in summer school, I just got tired of him, and I just hit him, just punched him in his face, you know.
And so we need to define what this is, because if you don't know what it is, if you don't know what makes you angry, then when you get angry, you're going to lash out and you may hurt somebody. Your loved ones, your child, friends, mother, daughter, sister, brother. If you don't physically do anything, you're going to say some stuff that you really don't mean because of your anger and how you act.
There was never a place for a man to be able to go and say, hey, I have some questions about what to do with my children, or how do you do this, or how do you do that? And, you know, once again, that's what brings the perspective of what I do here now, of giving fathers an opportunity to talk about things that they're not normally comfortable talking about, or they wouldn't be able to talk about it with their friends or their family.
And transforming power, all it is to transform positive energy into a negative situation. And sometimes you have to use yourself as a transforming tool in order to do it.
My father died when I was 10, and I never lived with my father since I was about 3 or 4. You know, so I never had a father figure in my life to say what a dad should be like. Right now I'm going through a custody case for my son. And during the divorce, I insisted that I have my son every other 2 days and every other weekend. And I written that up in the divorce papers. So that's how it was. But when I got involved with ACS took that away. She claimed that I'm violent, abusive.
It's not easy when you're under a certain kind of pressure of your child being removed for you to keep your calm. And people need to understand that. They still don't like the fact that they do not have their child, which is understandable, because any parent who loves their child would fight for their child. You know, that's one of the biggest issues in the social service field, is understanding. That message is real hard because you're talking about trauma that the person feels, trauma that the child is going through.
They recommend that I go to take parenting and anger management, and she recommended Forestdale, which I didn't want to come in the first place. You know, I thought I was a very good father. I thought that what could they teach me? Now, what I've learned from this program, one, again, is how to handle your anger. We all come inside here with issues. We all come inside here thinking that we're the best father in the world. You're pissed at the world. You don't belong here. But these guys, the counselors inside here especially, they don't knock you down, but they show you different ways of handling things. The good thing about the program is not you alone, it's other guys that are going through the same thing. The beauty about it is that you learn from somebody else's example, somebody else's mistakes. I have recommended a couple of guys to come here, and because I think the program is it's something that everybody needs.
Everybody has the capacity to succeed.
And it feels great that by the time they leave your chair, your stylist chair, that they walk out of there with a new self-esteem, a new confidence, and that's because of you. To have a chance to find me a free program where I'm finished school and I don't have to pay a penny back out of pocket, and on top of that, it's a career that I've always wanted to do, so I get up and I'm happy to go to work in the morning. That in itself was a blessing.
Well, I decided to do gynecology because I'm from Africa, and so I know that a lot of female genital mutilation goes on there. And sort of be an advocate for women around the world who have undergone FGM, and sort of educate those communities. And apart from that, I also want to be heavily involved in improving the lives of children in foster care. And despite all my struggles in care, I think, you know, it happened for a reason, and now I see my purpose.